Ah, ooh, wait. O O O M G. Man, check me out. Let me get that. Man. Oh, they must say toot toot. Hold up. I got the bad headphones. That must say toot toot. Hold up. Let me make sure before I do the no Diddy dance. Hold up. I got the wrong one. One more. No Diddy, no Diddy, no Diddy, no doubt. No Diddy, no Diddy, no Diddy, no doubt. No Diddy. OMG. Diddy. Diddy. Today's topic, Diddy is in the garbage boom. It ain't nothing going on with Diddy, man, until April when he might get out in April or some appeal. Anyway, OMG. Jesse Jackson is Reverend Jesse Jackson of the Rainbow Coalition, Push, the SCLC or something like that. I forgot. The Southern whatever, and all the different groups where Martin Luther King is gone, y'all, at 84, man. Oh, man, not Jesse Jackson. I am somebody. Oh, 10-second salute to Jesse Jackson. A moment of silence. Salute to the Jesse, man. Whether you like him or not, he's in the history books. Let me go. And then, of course, the president responds to NBC missing mom situation. But Jesse he gonna dominate this live. I already know. I already know. But before we go into the topics, we got Lois Cox up in the building out of Jersey City. Yeah. And the green on the scene. The member in here. What's up, Lois Cox in the building? We got Hellhound in the building out there in freezing Illinois. He said, good morning, chat. Morning, Don. Lois Cox says, good morning, Don, and chat. We got many Reddicks in the building. Says good morning, y'all. Another 60 great. What? Y'all got 60 degrees out there? Wow. We are getting some of Don's weather here in the Midwest. Wow. And we've been raining. It was raining on me this morning. Rain on me. Shout out to y'all. Loving myself in the building. Says good morning. Um, Handsome. Thank you. Beautiful. Good morning, chat. Good morning. Good morning. It's bad. It's a bad man. I know you're opening sounds and say them with you. My daughter is looking at me right sideways. R.I.P. Seven Sages in the building said R.I.P. to Jesse Jackson. Andrews in the building says I'm here, Don, and says, damn, Duvall died as well. That's right. We lost the actor Robert Duvall. I forgot to put something on him, but Robert Duvall was a great actor. I remember only the first movie I remember Robert Duvall was in Colors. So that's my introduction to him. Colors. You know what I'm saying? Colors. The movie Colors. Colors. He was the head police officer, and what's his name that played in Fast Times at Richmond High? Uh uh that was his partner Sean Penn or Sean whatever his name is. I forgot his name. I'm forgetting people names, bro. But yeah, yeah. Shout out to Robert Duvall. But I'm sorry, this is Black History Month, and we shall show some respect to Jesse Jackson. Damn it, whether you like him or not, whether you like Jesse Jackson or not. Shout out to Jesse Jackson. Yeah, we gonna show some respect in here. You know, yeah, we gonna go to ABC News. and let them talk about the great Jesse Jackson. Some love him, some hate him. Hey, I'm in the fight. There we go. Fair use.
As ABC News has confirmed, Reverend Jesse Jackson has died. For more than 5 decades, he stood as a towering figure of the civil rights movement, rising to prominence in the 1960s alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a vocal champion fighting for desegregation and equality for Black Americans and marginalized communities, a fierce advocate for voting rights. Reverend Jackson was at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis the night Dr. King was assassinated. He was standing in the courtyard and was among the first to reach him after that fatal shot was fired. He founded Operation Push, dedicated to improving the economic status of African Americans and disadvantaged groups. Trailblazer and 2-time presidential candidate. He ran for the Democratic nomination in 1984 and 1988. His Rainbow Coalition was designed to form a diverse alliance of African Americans, Latinos, Asian Americans, Native Americans,
everybody,
women, and the LGBTQ community. Reverend Jackson was visibly moved to tears when President Obama was first elected in 2008. The realization of his lifelong work and unparalleled victory of the civil rights movement. His life was dedicated to civil rights during some of America's most turbulent times. A legacy of steadfast activism, giving a voice to millions and helping reshape the American landscape. Here's ABC's Pierre Thomas with a look back at Jackson's life.
Yeah. You can't see it because it's in black and white. I am somebody. Yo. Yeah, that's all I remember. That's the one I remember the most is I am somebody. And the one, but he did that speech. I didn't know he said that at a lot of at different events. I thought he only said it out here in LA in 1972 at the Wattstax. Wattstax Festival was a festival that was like a big summer jam, you know, extravaganza, the Lollapalooza, whatever that was back, that is now. That's what basically Wattstax was, were all different artists, like 100 artists, not 100, man, I'm just exaggerating, maybe 10 different acts would perform, and then Jesse Jackson got on stage and did, I thought he got that from there, but nah, he did this and on, he wore I am somebody out. Yeah, he been sick for years, Lois Cox. He's been sick for years. I remember seeing him bad and like looking bad like maybe 10 years ago, 5 to 10 years ago, maybe for sure 10 years ago, he didn't look too well. So I knew his health was declining. And I was thinking about him recently. I was like, damn, I wonder what's up with Jesse Jackson. He ain't been in the spotlight, but the last time I seen him, he wasn't looking too, you know, like sharp. You know, they had him in some interview maybe 10 years ago and he wasn't like he wasn't quick like he normally was. You know what I mean? But before they go into that, I just want y'all to show this. This is in LA out here. I want to show y'all this out here. It's a trip. It's a trip. I was looking at this speech, and it's out here in LA at the Coliseum. And people talk about it, the Wattstax Festival, but I didn't know people was recording. So
this is a beautiful
we'll take
day.
all this off. Hold up.
It is
We'll take this off real quick. This is crazy, man. I didn't even know, like, and then you look in the crowd, they showing people in the crowd. This is interesting how people like look back then. And this is the Coliseum back then. The LA Coliseum back then. Damn. The Wattstax Festival was stacked. Look how many people was in that thing. And Jesse was speaking. Look, check it out. Fair use.
a new day.
This is
It is a
1972.
day of black awareness.
1972. But just, you know, I you know, forget it. It's only like 3 minutes long. I ain't gonna play the whole 3 minutes, but I'm just gonna show you a little bit. Like, damn, this is some history right here. Fair use. Look.
It is a day of black people taking care of black people's business.
1972, y'all, in LA.
We are together.
So you know I'm ghetto. So the first thing I think about 1972,
you know, since everybody know us about gangs and all that, I think I said, "Damn, was any Crips there?" That's the first thing I thought. Is any gang? And it was some gang in the background called the Black Devils. I never seen them before. I don't know if there was a motorcycle gang or what. But anyway, fair use. The
We
fashion.
are unified and on one accord.
Hey, look, you can see the background right there. That's the Coliseum. Y'all ain't from LA, but it's a trip seeing that. Like how it used to look, you know. That's a trip for me. It's just a trip. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna play too much. I just showing y'all a little bit.
Determines the texture, the taste, and the sound of our
But
soul.
look at this big natural. That's what I'm saying. Look, that shit dope, huh? We got a big old fro with a dice shiki on and shit. Yeah. Yeah, this when we had numbers in LA in the 70s, boy. We was deep in the 70s out here.
We say that
Look
we
at this
may
sign.
be
Look at this
in
fine
the
sister.
slum.
She fine in the mud, like, damn, who's that? Look at that fine sister with the fro with the glasses on. And people wear them type of glasses to this day. The fashion was a trip. Look at that. She's beautiful. Fair use.
But the slum is
Look, I wear hats like that right there. Look. Wear the hat. I wear it's kind of similar to that, but not like that. Then he got a big old brim right there. Look, he probably was some what they call it, the brims was probably there for sure. He probably was a brim. I'm just saying, you know, I know it was a style back then, but you certain hats back then meant something, you know. Them fashion hats meant something out here. I know they meant something in Chicago, but in LA, I know it's a little different. But anyway, fair use. It's a trip. I'm just looking at the
not
people.
in us. We may be in prison.
Look at her. Look at her hair.
But
Got the wig with the bang on it, or it could be her regular hair. I don't know. Look at the fashion. I'm just tripping off the fashion. The women were pretty too. Ooh, that's a fine little brown sister too. Man, all right. I hope they all still alive.
prison is not in us.
Look how big the
In
crowd
what
was.
we have shifted from
Damn.
burn, baby, burn to
Look at that big old fro, man. God dang. Damn, Jesse. Yeah, she was pretty young. 7 Sages. Look at them big ass sideburns. I had sideburns in the 90s. That's a trip. Sideburns. Look at a big old fro with a sideburn. That should look hard. He got that edged up. And that was perfectly edged up right there. That was edged up. Look, that's edged up. Even though it was a fro, he had it edged up before he went and spoke.
we have shifted from bed bugs and dog ticks.
Yeah, bed bugs. I don't know about that, but that was back in the 70s. Let's go.
Community control and
Classic porch. And this is what I was talking about. I don't know. I was trying to Google it, and I didn't have enough time to search it. But I want to know who are these dudes right here, the Black Devils. I don't know if they were a motorcycle gang. Probably a motorcycle gang. But I ain't never heard of them. Black Devil. I heard of like Gladiators and Slawsons. That predates the Crips and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, who's these dudes?
politics.
Look, these dudes look like, yeah, I think they probably a motorcycle club more than likely. That look like a motorcycle club. Black Devils. I don't know. Maybe they were the motorcycle club. But I just wonder like who was all in that crowd. Then I'm gonna move on.
That is why we gather today to
Look, I thought that was Don Cornelius right here. But look at the froze, man. That's a trip. A whole lifetime, like in the archives. Like that era is on a what they call it, respirator right now, man. That whole era, if I don't talk about it or nobody else, that era just gonna die because a lot of these youngsters, they don't care about this history stuff. All they care about is Lil Uzi Vert and he said New Jack City. 7 Sages and classic pork chops. Yeah, there you go. Fair use.
celebrate our whole
Look at that hat. Hold on. Look at the homie hat right there. Hold up. And I'm going to move on. I swear. I swear. I just want to go back to that dude
Gather
hat.
today to celebrate
That
our
hat.
home.
Oh, there go that hat. That hat was fly. Look. 70s style. Look. Damn. Yeah, they had fashion back then, man. I like the fashion back in the 70s. The 70s music and fashion. Oh, man. They packed the Coliseum back then.
Homecoming and our own sense of somebodyness.
Look, he got the crowd. Look. This is good content. This is 72, bro. I wasn't even born yet. I was born in 74. Damn, that's crazy. Look at all them froze, man. That's a trip. This was a movement back then, man. Like a defiantness. Put your fists in the air.
Somebody. I am somebody.
Look at all those
I may
people.
be poor, but I am.
I like that hat. I like that hat too. I like that hat. Let me go back to that hat. Hold on.
But I am.
I like that. I like them 70s hats like that. I love the fashion. Damn, man. I'm glad I was born in my era, but that 70s era, bro, that 70s, 80s, whoo. Damn, that was a good, I bet you that was some good energy back then. Said big pimpin', huh? Love that hat. You love that hat? You know what I'm saying?
I am somebody.
Man, this when we had numbers in LA, man. This is probably like our last little, probably the 90s. That was our last little hurrah out here. Damn.
Maybe on welfare, but I am somebody. I may be unskilled, but I am Mr. Kim Weston, the Black National Anthem.
All right, cool. Damn, that shit crazy, bro. That's a whole era, like, man, that's one of the last of the dying breed of that civil rights era when they was getting sick dogs on them with Martin Luther King and all. That shit crazy, bro. Like that, if we don't talk about it, it'll just go in the garbage. Like everybody will just forget. Like somebody that's young, if they not into history, they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. David White said white power. White powder. He said powdered. He said, Hitchman says black power. Yes, man. That was back in the days, man. That was back in the day when we was proud, bro. We was proud. We was unified. You know. Jackson Appendix, that's wild video to come in on. You feel me? That was crazy, right? Wow. That was a whole new era, man. The 70s was a good vibe. Like my name, I was born in 74. So like I have a black name. You know, I ain't gonna say my real name, but I have a black name. I was named after that time period. That's crazy, man. So shout out to Reverend Jesse Jackson. You know, I love the bell bottoms, the fashion. I love the unity because it wasn't just about, it was all about, because Jesse Jackson wasn't just about black power. He was about Rainbow Coalition, so he wasn't just, he wanted to unite the world like Martin Luther King, you know what I'm saying? So he wasn't just on, on this. He was like trying to be president, everything, y'all. He ran twice. And then some controversy happened. It's a lot to it too. He got a long story. And there's some controversies too. You know me. I do the good and the accomplishments. Let's look at the energy. That era must have been intense. Yeah, it had to be, man. And I was born into that era, man. Soul Train and all that. It was cool to be from LA back then, bro. But yeah, I think I got his not something else. I didn't want that one. Civil rights phase, scandals. I don't want to do the scandals right now. I don't want to talk about that either. I asked some serious questions. But not that one. Is it this one? Okay, so boom. This is some of his accomplishments. You know what I mean? So yes, he was in Push, people united to save humanity. So he wasn't, you know, and the National Rainbow Coalition in 1984, which merged from the Rainbow Push Coalition to advocate, you know, for all the rights. So don't get it twisted. Yes, he was down for this, but he was down for humanity. You feel me? So don't feel isolated. It was a different time period. You got to understand. So he ran twice, you know, ran landmark campaigns on the Democratic nomination in 1984 and 88, finished in second in 88 with millions of votes. Was increased his black voter registration and political power. But I think the controversy came in 84 because he was aligning himself with different leaders that he shouldn't have been aligning himself with. He should have been low key, and then he made a controversial statement, you know, controversial statement, you know. I'll read it, but I ain't gonna say it. So he established the Wall Street Project in 2003, increasing economic opportunities for minorities and all that. Was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2000 for his work in civil rights. You know, so he did a little thing. I thought he negotiated something too. I thought he negotiated somebody to get home safe, but I'm not sure. But now, you know what I mean? I gave y'all the good stuff, man, first. Let me see, is this the one? So this what happened. This what messed his political run. This is some of the scandals, you know what I'm saying, that he faced. So when he ran in 1984, he made a mark called that word. I ain't gonna say it. I guess it's a derogatory term towards certain people in a certain community. He called that community a town, New York, that part of New York City, that word. In the conversation with a black reporter, he initially denied the remarks, but later apologized at the synagogue. So he apologized for that, you know, but y'all know how that is. You know, once you say something bad, that's kind of, they're going to remember you for that. Then he had a legitimate daughter, you know, admitted to fathering a daughter out of wedlock with Karen Stanford, an employee at the Rainbow Push Coalition. So he had a few little scandals, you know what I'm saying? Everybody don't come clean when you in this political spectrum. You're going to have some dirt, you know what I'm saying? You know, following the revelations affair, it was reported that Stanford had been paid roughly 35 to 40K. Damn. So, yeah, man, he had a couple of controversies, but overall, he was a good guy. You know what I'm saying? He was a good guy. And everybody always asks, did he have something to do with Martin Luther King assassination? So Jackson was standing in the courtyard below the motel balcony talking to King at the moment the shot was fired. So that's why people think he was involved, because he didn't have the tie or something, and everybody else had a tie. They put King on the second floor. I don't know who put King on the second floor, but somebody dropped the ball and put MLK on the second floor, and he was, you know, when you assassinate somebody, you want them to be on the second floor because you can get a better aim. Bam, you know. So that's wild video. Yeah. Hello, how you been? Willing to sign my petition to remove Diddy from the Epstein files. Shout out to you, Nesco. So yeah, a lot of people were saying he was involved, but I got a video from Judge Joe Brown that might dispel that. Following the shooting, Jesse Jackson appeared to the national television wearing a turtleneck sweater stained with blood, claiming he had cradled the dying leader in his arms. Then he had a dispute with some dude named Ralph Abernathy. I can't say his name. My tongue can't. Abernathy, including Jose Williams. Dispute this account, stating that Jackson was not on the balcony when King was shot and that the blood on his shirt did not come from King. Oh, wow. So that's one of the I didn't know that. Now, this is new to me. So he went on some interview and he had a blood on the shirt, but two dudes saying he wasn't even on the balcony. They accused him of using this strategy to position himself as king's successor. So that was the beef, okay? They seen him as trying to be the successor. And he did get pushed like right after king though. They did push him like a mug. He almost won for president. Conspiracy beliefs. Jackson has long publicly denied the official conclusion that James Earl Ray acted alone. So we all kind of know that. If you don't, I got the content on that. The allegations of government involvement, he has stated in interviews that he believes the FBI or the government was involved in the assassination. So we gonna have Judge Joe Brown clear it up. Support for Ray. In 1991, he wrote a foreword for James Earl Ray book, Who Deleted Martin Luther King, expressing his belief in Ray's innocence, or at least that Ray was part of a larger conspiracy. Wow. So yeah, so he was down with, you know, everybody on the underground knew that James Earl Ray didn't do it by himself. You know what I'm saying? He was a now renegotiator and has successfully negotiated deals on an international stage. That's what I thought. I remember him freeing some hostages or something. So I didn't type that in. I could type it in again and read that more. But I wanted to get that clear, like, because people always say that he has something to do with King and assassination. But I got Judge Joe Brown disputing that claim. Let me let y'all hear this real quick. Judge Joe Brown. I think this is from Storm Monroe channel. Here we go. Let's look at this, and I'm gonna read the comments. I'll get in the comments in a second. Hold, let's hear this.
It's Storm Show. It's Storm Show.
When that fool got up there pandering like he always does down in black folk, he was a damn liar. Jesse got mad about it, but everybody wanted to badmouth Jesse. By the way, Jesse did not sell out Dr. King. The sellout remember, I was the last judge on that. The sellout was the late Reverend Billy Kyles.
Ooh.
Remember, Dick Gregory recorded him. He said, "Why did you duck back in the door when you brought Dr. King out on the balcony?" He said, "I didn't want to get shot." So Dick Gregory jumped. "How'd you know somebody's going to get shot?" "Well, under the circumstances." "No, brother, you ain't getting away from that." He played the tape.
Right.
Damn. So why did Jesse get caught with that rep then?
Because what happens is the tactic is destroy all of your viable leadership and leave you with fakes.
Dang.
Gotcha.
So they're going to try to discredit me, but I mean, it's kind of hard. I got a public track record, and I'll call you goddamn liar. I don't care whether you're Jesus or the president. If you're lying, you're lying.
Yeah, point blank. Let me ask you something. When it comes to Obama, I was reading.
All right, let me go back, and he's gonna go into detail what he feel like what happened to King. He's gonna tell you exactly. 'Cause he was the last judge with the lawsuit. If you don't know, Martin Luther King family sued the government, and he was one of the people that was he was one of the judges on the judge on the case. Here we go. Fair use. This is Art of Dialogue.
I gotta ask you about Martin Luther King. You know who was behind his murder, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, he was assassinated by a two-man hit team from the fire station. Not from the flop house, not from the bushes, which were right below the window for the flop house. Flop house window never opened far enough to shoot a rifle out of it. The bushes weren't the place. The reason people think it was coming from that location was the echo off of the front of the Lorraine Motel. The weapon was an M14 converted to an M21. It was an experimental project. They made 62 of them with an extra barrel. They put a Redfield 3-9 power scope modified by a company known as Leatherwood on it. And they had a suppressor which caused the sound to be modified. They shot subsonic ammunition, which is why they took a head shot instead of a chest shot, which would have been the usual course. And the shooters were most probably recruited from the Marine Sniper School at Quantico.
Wow. So he breaks it down completely, like, as you can see on the Art of Dialogue, it's about 10 minutes long. He playing the whole 10. But yeah, you can get a feel that, so you heard him from the judge's mouth. He don't think that anything that Jesse sold out King. That's the main thing. So that's always been the rumor that he sold out King and had him set up. But according to Judge Joe Brown, that seen every evidence on it, it was the government that was involved in MLK. It wasn't Jesse. So clear Jesse name on that, you know. And then we're gonna have people of his peers speak on Jesse Jackson, and Al Sharpton had a piece on him. So we're gonna go to Al Sharpton. Sorry, y'all, I'm gonna go to the comments in a second. Let me just play this real quick. Here we go.
Very difficult. He had been ill with Parkinson's and palsy for the last several years. It had continued to diminish. I would go every couple of months and see him. I went, I especially would go on Christmas Day after we feed the hungry here in New York. And my daughters and I went a few weeks ago. And he couldn't talk, he couldn't walk for the last several months. So at one level, you didn't want to see him suffer, but at another level, you grappling with him passing. His family called me in the middle of the night, said he had passed. We had prayer before they took his body out of the room where he was. I talked to his son, Yusef, and Jesse Jr. But I think people should realize Jesse Jackson helped change American politics. He changed civil rights. He brought proportional representation into the primary. Before him, you could win by 2 votes and you take all the delegates in the state. He changed that, which led to a Barack Obama being able to be nominated. He led to many changes. He kept Dr. King's dream going, and we have to keep his going. So I think that I've known him since my mother brought me to Operation Breadbasket through Reverend William Jones when I was 12 years old, and I've been around Reverend Jackson 59 years. So It's a long time, and we've gone through a lot together, and I'll miss.
Wow. So we go to the comments. I'm seeing some wild comments. Let me go to the chat real quick. Let me read what Seven Sages. Seven Sages said Jackson traveled to Damascus and successfully negotiated with the president Hafez al-Assad for the release of captured Navy pilot Lieutenant Robert Goodman. Thank you for that fact, Seven Sages. I knew he negotiated, but I didn't type it in. It was just too much. It was last minute, real freestyle, so I was trying to hurry up and, get it all in. But thank you. So if y'all got more information, put it in the chat. If you disagree with Jesse Jackson, put it in the chat. If you love Jesse Jackson, put it in the chat. Just be respectful. And I won't delete it. I'll read your comment. Because I'm pretty sure he rubbed a lot of people the good way and the bad way. That's just life, man. You ain't going to satisfy everybody. That's just life, man. And y'all got to stop trying to satisfy people that don't like you. You just got to rock with the people that rock with you. It took me a while to get that in my head, Seven say, like I always tell y'all, yes, I'm proud to be black, but I go off real human interaction with people because, your own people will be the ones that don't even support you. You know what I'm saying? Not here on my show, but just in real life. Like I've seen other nationalities look out for me and give me a shout out, and other people, they see me as a clown or whatever, and it's just like, wow, it's that easy. It's real simple to show love, but some people, that's why I don't go off that black stuff, bro. Like, shout out to, I'm proud to be black, but I go off human, one-on-one interaction. How do you make me feel? How do you, do you invite me into your circle, So, and I've learned the hard way thinking, my mom's always used to tell me that, man, like, I young and hard-headed, trying to be too militant. You got to go on personal interaction. Just like Martin Luther King said, the content of somebody's character. Jesse Jackson, Mark Roth says, Jesse Jackson was a joke on a Democratic dummy. And why would you say that? Can you give me more? contents to why you say that, sir. Yvette Bell, I can't stand Joe. He doesn't do nothing but talk. Who's that? Joe who? Joe Rogan? Who you talking about, Yvette Bell? Seven Sages said in Sierra Leone, Jesse brokered a ceasefire between President Turan Kaba and the rebel leader Fade Nicole. Wow, see, that's good information. Thank you. Nancy in the building say, yo man, yo man, yo man, yo man, yo man. What's up, Nancy? Yo, 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 yo. Jesse did his best to help the cause. Yeah, he did his best, Yvette, I think, man. You can only do so much, you know. Andrew says, family can turn on you first. That's real, because family and friends, because they know you, they know your secrets, you know, they know your history, they know your, you know, they know you real close. They know what steps you make, and yeah, so you got to be careful, bro. I'll say friends too, you know. Oh yeah, I've had family that like show like weird love, like I don't know if it's this tough love or just pure, or is this just pure hate? After a while, you gotta be like, no matter if they family or not, you know, why do when you comment, it's always something negative? Like when I see a certain family member about to comment, I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. It's about to be some kind of shade. Now, is that love? You know what I mean? Or that just being, you know, messy? You know, so yeah. Shout out to my family though. But I've seen that in real life, like for real. You're like, what are you talking about? And multiple times, not just once, not just twice, not just 3 times. You're like, damn, do you love me or do you don't love me? What's going on here? So I go on personal inner reaction. You know, y'all in the chat is my family. Shit, y'all F with me. Y'all come on here every day and rock with me. Oh man, y'all more than my family than anybody. sorry to my, you know, my mother, of course, and my sister and my auntie and, you know, grandmother, and just, you know, exclude all them, you know what I'm saying? But I'm talking about everybody else, you know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, certain friends, y'all know y'all cool, y'all good. But I'm just saying, like, who come and support me every day? Y'all. Shit. That's who really F with me, right, is the ones in this chat. You know, so shout out, salute to y'all of all colors and all nationalities in here. You know, shout out to Life with Tasharia. She said, hello, hola. Go to the Life with Tasharia channel. Life with Tasharia, go to the channel out of Fort Worth, Texas. My beautiful members in the chat. Andrew's in the building. Lois Cox, 7 Sages, Hellhound, and 7 Sages. Be respectful and put respect on Jesse's name. He earned it. Yeah, he did. He earned the respect. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get back to the video to, you know, give him a little more shine. I just had to put the, you know, the good, and I didn't want to, you know, sugarcoat it. You know what I mean? It is scandals. It is some scandals. The one thing that's funny to me, and I can't find the content. This is the funny thing. This is Jesse later on in his years. So I think about this time he was already like in that. This was when that little baby was born, whatever, that love child, whatever. And he was doing an interview with a female reporter, and he was openly flirting with her, man. But I can't find the video on YouTube. I was like, damn, Jesse on her. Jesse was on that reporter like, what's up? Shit, what's cracking? How you doing? Looking at her and shit like, what's cracking? You know, it shows him that he was a human, you know, to me. I was like, damn, Uncle Jesse, what you doing? The camera's rolling, man. And the poor lady, you could tell she was about probably 10 years older than me. So she was like, you know, a little more seasoned. And I was young too. I was in my 20s. I remember that, man. And I can't find the clip. But that was funny. I was like, damn, Jesse on her hard. So we gotta have some balance here. We ain't gonna act like the dude was Jesus or nothing, you know what I'm saying? You know, Yvette Bell, he was human just like we all got flaws, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody perfect. Yvette Bell says everyone is not your friend and they don't have to like you or respect you. That's real. And I know that, but it was just like, damn. It just showed me how somebody recently showed me, man, gave me a shout out, man. And he didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? But the brother ain't never did that. I was like, that's why I don't go off that brother stuff. You got it. What's our personal interaction? How do we vibe? Do you F with me? Like, do you F with me? You know, the one dude stops and talks to me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a dirty curse. You know what I'm saying, to him. So I appreciate that. He's not black. So that's what I'm saying. But shout out, you know, I go off personal interactions with people. Do you love me? Do you love me? You got to leave a few minutes earlier. I leave the phone here. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so my coworker, she got to leave in a minute. So I'm going to have to, you know, do my regular time. She, you know, she'll be all right. We'll be all right. I got the message for sure. But yeah, man, shout out to Rev. Let me read the comments. I'm gonna go to one more video and then we gonna end this. Everyone is not your, yeah, shout out to Yvette Bell, for real though. Cowboy Baby, he said the first to backstab and the ones is the closest to you, for real. That's the ones that get you the hardest. You know what I'm saying? Yvette Bell, we don't get a dance this morning. Hey, you know we get a dance. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, 2-step. Spin around, swing, spin, boom, spin, Let me stop, y'all. Anyway, let's tell one more last clip on Reverend Jesse Jackson. He has transitioned with the ancestors. He's official ancestor now. Let's take the bells and whistles off this thing here. And I got onto a whole thing just off this clip. Let me take the bells and whistles off here and just show this video, the last of ABC, and then we done. Let me put this on.
All of his life, the Reverend Jesse Jackson preaching, exhorting, demanding justice in a quest to help his people and nation overcome.
We ain't the bottom, we the foundation.
Ooh. Always marching, civil rights nonviolent soldier. There he was, shoulder to shoulder with Martin Luther King Jr.
Wow.
After witnessing the beatings of Bloody Sunday on television.
Wow, look at that. Let's go back and
Jackson eventually became one of the top lieutenants in the critical Southern Christian leadership Sunday on television. Jackson eventually became one of the...
Wow, look at this.
Martin Luther King Jr.
Look at that. Wow, he was... See, that's the... I was trying to get a picture of them together in color. That's heavy right there. And that's Ralph, the one that says Jesse didn't have the blood on the shirt. So you know, it's gonna always be beef since when the leader goes, man. It's always the camp usually don't stay together, man. And sadly, everybody wants to be number one. Not saying that they all wanted to be number one, but that's just a natural reaction. You want to, lead. Especially as somebody as great as Martin Luther King got assassinated, you feel me? But that's a trip. That's him in the color right there. He look young as hell right there, huh, chat? Damn, Rev look young on there. Wow. And it's a few videos of King in color. You got to remember, this is the 60s, y'all. They didn't have not too many people had color TVs back then. I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. Like, shit, as a kid, I didn't get my first color TV, my own first color TV, till I was like 9 years old. I had a black and white at first. My first TV was a black and white. Not saying they didn't have color TV, but color TVs was expensive, man. So you see Dr. King in color, that's hard. That's hard, bro.
Jr. after witnessing the beatings of Bloody Sunday on television. Jackson eventually became one of the top lieutenants in the critical Southern Christian Leadership Conference, which challenged the Jim Crow South's withering oppression. A witness to history. He was there.
He was there, look. So those are two right there, see? And they say reason why he was a part of it because he didn't have a tie on, and these two had ties. But what about this dude? Was he? I don't know who that is. Was that the Reverend the dude was talking about? I don't know, but that's crazy. This is the same balcony right before King got assassinated. That's heavy. That's heavy. 1968, y'all. Wow. And they still to this day, you can go to Memphis, Tennessee, and go to the Lorraine Motel, And you can see I haven't been. Ooh, I want to go to Memphis now. Damn, fair use.
Was there on that fateful April evening when King was struck down by.
Wow, look at that. They all pointing. Where was that? Wow. King laying on the ground right there with his leg hanging out. That's crazy, bro. And man, and they interviewed a lot of those people at the bottom. It was a female. She did an interview. She held out for years, but she knew King, whatever. But anyway, let me let the video play. This shit is crazy, man. Era, man, another gun in an era. Here we go, fair use.
By an assassin's bullet.
I tried to feel his head, and I asked him, I said, Dr. King, do you hear me? Dr. King, do you hear me? And he didn't say anything.
After a leadership struggle with King's successor, Reverend Ralph Abernathy, Jackson split from the SCLC and formed a new organization.
See, that always happens, and when one leader go, it's like a lot of times they splinter in different groups. You know, it's kind of hard to keep the movement going with the same name. You know, it's I don't know if it's jealousy, could be jealousy. Everybody wants to be the leader. I don't know. But that's a trip. After King left, it really was nobody could do it like King, bruh.
People united to save humanity. Push.
Beautiful.
He tried, though.
After Dr. King,
He tried.
I don't think anyone captured the spirit of America like Reverend Jackson, and he took the movement north. I think Jesse Jackson was the link from that generation of King and them all the way to my generation, and then the generation behind me.
The first wave,
Right, like Tashira said, battle for power. Yep. The museum also has an interior of MLK's motel room. Yep. 7 Sages. Yep. Jesse was a salesman, something salesman, and on the global stage, and could talk to any world leader. Yeah, he could articulate himself. You know, he was educated. You know, have that black and white and that Atari 2026 567 butter knife was the tools of the trade to hook the crap up. Man, yeah. The good old days with the butter knife. You ain't lying. To the UHF, I think it was. The UHF side. Yeah. Yeah, he was a great speaker. Yeah. He was a great speaker, right, Lois Cox? Yeah. No different than P. Diddy did. I don't know what that means. Who's that? Candy in here acting a fool. Lois Cox says, have a great day. Yeah, it's about that time. I gotta go relieve the guards. But yeah, let me just play a little bit more and we out.
The wave of the civil rights movement had succeeded in breaking down significant barriers, but Jackson's primary focus was on economic empowerment.
We know that we're worthy of respect and protection, but nobody really
big
knows
old
our
afro,
name.
damn.
So we're really still struggling.
Damn, that afro was humongous, bro. Damn, I ain't never had an afro that big. His hair was long. You know what I'm saying? No Diddy, handsome, you know what I'm saying? He had the ladies, man. He had the turtleneck, tall.
He broke boundaries in politics, twice running for president. First in 1984 under the banner of a rainbow coalition.
I was a kid. I was hoping he won. I remember that.
Our flag is red, white, and blue, but our nation is rainbow. Red, yellow, brown, black, and white. We're all precious.
See, so y'all, you know, hey, he was trying to unite the world.
In God's sight.
In 1988,
he was good at rhyming too. I forgot about that. Jesse thought he was a rapper back then. Jesse was like one of the first rappers. He loved to rhyme. Shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to Jesse Jackson. It's sad, man. All good ones got taken out. Black, yellow, white, brown, all good people. Yeah, you know, you go to the Kennedys and all that. Got taken out too young. JFK, King, Malcolm X. The list goes on and on. Right. RFK. Lois Cox, have a great day, everyone. You see, that was a whole era, man. They was getting taken out back then, bro. If you was a threat, pow. Life with the Chevy, Mega Evers. The list goes on and on, man. Take care, everyone. All folks that was trying to bring it together, make peace, make change, all were deleted. They didn't want us to unify. They want us to be divided so they can control all us about a way of money. That's right, Aaron. I think so too, man. That's why I don't get caught up in political parties and political ideologies and stuff, man. Because at the end of the day, we all working, whether we red or blue. Or we all working for somebody, bro. And I don't know why people think that they're better than other people because they make a little bit more. You are not the owner of the company. Like, why do you have this superiority complex? Like, it's sick, man. Money makes capitalism. That's capitalism for you, bro. No matter where you work. So loving myself says he was trying to continue legacy of Martin Luther King the best he could. You know what I'm saying? He did the best he could, man. Andrew said, have a great day, y'all. He played y'all. He played us. Some people feel like he played us. Some people say he was a pimp, like a pastor. I don't know, man. All I know is that he tried. He tried, and you know, times were different back then. Yeah. Reverend Jesse Jackson, Rainbow Coalition, a new meaning these days. Right. Yeah. That was a good one, 7-6. On that note, I gotta go. I'd like to thank everybody for pulling up on me. R.I.P. to Reverend Jesse Jackson. We covered the good, the bad, and the legacy and the legendary legacy of him overall. You know what I'm saying? Was a good guy. You know what I'm saying? So R.I.P. to him. And his family. Sorry for y'all loss, and family and friends of him. He was a pillar in my life at one point. You know what I'm saying? He had flows, right? He had flow. He was hey, I seen him as a positive image. You know what I mean? Despite I always heard the controversy with King. That's the only thing that kind of salted his name up was the rumors about him have something to do with King, but that was never proven. Anyway, I gotta go. I'd like to thank everybody for pulling up on me. Make sure you pull up on me Monday through Friday, 4:45 a.m. West Coast time, 6:45 a.m. Central time, and 7:45 a.m. East Coast time. Monday through Friday, pull up on your boy. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure it says all, and share me out on all your social media programs. And watch this video over and again, and comment in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Marla is in here. What's up, Marla? All right, I gotta go. Mwah, mwah. To all the ladies and the single ladies, you get the leggy. Pow, pow, pow. And the homies, you get the pound. Poof, poof, poof. Uppercut. You know how we do. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up. Let's continue this tomorrow. You know how we do. No Diddy. R.I.P. Jesse Jackson. Baby.